Good afternoon and welcome to the 5th annual Swim with the Sharks competition. Very pleased to be here on behalf of the Newcastle County Chamber of Commerce. I'm Bob Chadwick, by the way. Thank you very much for being here. But it was about 9 years ago that we opened the newspaper one day and saw a report from the Kauffman Foundation which ranked Delaware near last in entrepreneurialism. But as the Chamber of Commerce person, that's not the kind of story you want to see. So we immediately began thinking about, well, what can we do? What's our job in this environment? And so we really decided at that point that we needed to focus on something that no one else at that time, 9 years ago, was focusing on, and that's how do we grow our own companies? How do we grow our own right here in Newcastle County, Delaware? There's always an effort to bring the next new company in, the next large employer in, and that's something that always has to be happening. But what are we doing here on the ground to make our own companies flourish and grow and encourage folks to start up new companies? So we put together this thing called the Emerging Enterprise Center, which was an incubator for startup companies at our facility in Newcastle. And that's been 9 years, and Dora's going to go through all the stats on that later. But I think we've been pretty successful. We were the first ones doing it in town. Now the great thing for Delaware is there's lots of organizations involved in helping promote the entrepreneurial ecosystem here, and we're just really pleased with that. Before we get on with the rest of the program, please join me in welcoming our County Executive, Matt Meyer.
There you go. Thanks so much to the Emerging Enterprise Centers in the room, and I understand that a lot of you entrepreneurs, a lot of young and old, that's really what it's about. It's about understanding a problem that's out there and believing that you have a way to change the world. So let's give them a round of applause. And let's just focus on growing the next Amazon right where we are. Let's talk about within the Philadelphia region, within Newcastle County, obviously that's important to me, but also being a part of a regional strategy to grow these companies right here. Because yes, I'd like to be the second headquarters of Amazon, but what I really want to be is I want to be the first headquarters of the next Amazon and figure out how do we develop strategies, how do we develop policies to grow that Amazon right here? And that's really what this is about. But what you're doing is just as important, if not more important.
I'm going to turn this program over to our program manager for the Emerging Enterprise Center, Dora Cheatham. Dora.
Good afternoon, everybody. Somebody said to me this morning, do you know, today's the 40th anniversary of the Fonz's shark jump. For those of you who were old enough to remember, that was a big deal. So this is going to be the shark jump for some of these companies that are going to be presenting today. In Delaware alone, according to the 2016 Kauffman Index on Startup Activity, 200 out of every 100,000 adults became entrepreneurs each month in 2016, and 86% of new entrepreneurs are opportunity entrepreneurs. What does that mean? That means these are people who have spotted a need, a gap in the market, and they feel that they have a product or a service that can fulfill that need. The three entrepreneurs that you're going to see today are opportunity entrepreneurs. They're not entrepreneurs because they've lost their job and they don't have anything else to do. They can't think of what to do. They have spotted a gap in the market and they are fulfilling a need. Since last year, we are now at 34 companies that have generated 60.7 million in revenue and created 165 jobs. So we're doing what we promised we would do. How do we do that? We do it in three ways. We give small businesses a place to launch that provides space and support and a support structure. They need that support structure. You can't go it alone. We train and upskill. We provide tools that help entrepreneurs focus on targeted areas of their business. Most people have a comfort zone. And very often when they kick off a business, they focus on that comfort zone, but you can't just focus on that comfort zone. You have to focus on multiple areas when you're running that business. And we connect the entrepreneur with the right resources and mentors. And we are lucky to have lots of resources and lots of mentors here in Delaware. So as we move on to the presentations, I'd like to introduce you to our judges for the day. Kelly Gates from Gates & Company, Chris Burkhart From CBI Group, John Fleming. From the Small Business Administration, Rob Hauk, or William Humphreys. And finally, Bob Chadwick from the Newcastle County Chamber of Commerce.
She gets her hair from her mom, her eyes from her dad, and her drugs from her grandmom's medicine cabinet. Now, we know this is a problem, as recent research suggests that roughly 70% of non-medical prescription opioid users obtain their drug supply directly from a friend or family member and not from a written prescription from a physician.
And our mission is to advance modern technology to address the global epidemic of drug addiction.
So our business is centrally focused around a unique chemical formulation that is capable of neutralizing the active ingredients of many dangerous pharmaceuticals, including but not limited to opioids and benzodiazepines. We are in the final stages of product development for our flagship product, the drug disposal pouch.
What will you use the prize money for?
So we will be developing a marketing plan to be able to go essentially...
Our goal and mission really is to disrupt American business and the industries in which they serve by showing them the value proposition of what drone technology can do for them by making things safer, faster, more efficient, and increase their bottom line. I believe that the use of drones will radically change the way things are done in many industries. Thousands of jobs across this country will be created for people with the right skills. Winning this competition will accelerate the speed with which our company can equip the workforce with the skills needed to succeed.
How long is the training program for a drone, and how much does it cost?
Yeah, so the training program introductory is 10 weeks. We supply the top drone made in the world by DJI, so our students will use the best drones made in the world today.
Hello, my name is Kaylin Butt. And don't worry, you do not have to listen to the gas-powered machinery anymore, because our business is Green Grazer Goats is a controlled goat grazing business. Our goats are voracious weed eaters. They eat most invasive and poisonous weeds. They can maintain areas that man and machinery cannot, such as hillsides, rocky areas, swamps, and embankments. We are currently in the growth and establishment phase of startup. We are generating consistent income. We are taking on new clients every day, and our profits are really starting to improve. Grazing 4, we are looking to double our herd and create targeted marketing campaigns aimed towards bringing in those large municipalities.
It's a goat business. Talk about how you scale the staff side of this business.
Sure, absolutely. So as we scale up with goats, we're anticipating scaling up with employees. We're looking specifically for young adults just coming to the job market who are interested in fields of agriculture or veterinary sciences.
In my perspective, the world of work has changed rather dramatically. In the past, you might have gone to school to get your education, you found a job, you were looking for a very nice, stable company. You know, you'd start on that ground floor job with the hopes of climbing a traditional corporate ladder. Someday you have a peaceful retirement. That world really doesn't exist today. Today we live in a gig economy where the nature of work has changed dramatically. This gig labor market is characterized by short-term contracts, freelance work, as opposed to traditional, what you might call permanent work. You may not know, approximately 44 million people participate in that gig economy this year. My company, Placers, helps the workforce navigate that gig economy while we help businesses use workers more effectively.
As I say, my name is Tom Williams. I'm a partner in Williams, Humphreys & Company, and we're proud to be the presenting sponsor again this year. Swim with the Sharks puts the spotlight on the entrepreneurs, specifically startup businesses. We feel it's particularly true of our clients, many of whom we have known since they were a single truck with a magnetic sign, or were working out of their garage, or off a card table in their dining room. That includes one of our clients that's here today, Amira Idris, who won last year's event, and is now a client of the firm, and she has a great success in the last year. I want to point out to her that this program really does work, and we're totally committed to it. I've been doing this a really long time. This is my passion: small businesses, entrepreneurs. I am a small business geek, if you want to call it that. I love the process. I love the clients. I love helping them be successful in their business. I consider myself to be a technical expert, which I am in tax and accounting, but more so I'm a client advocate and a client service provider, and the success of the client matches my belief in the success of our firm.
a good accounting firm has good, successful clients, regardless of whether the outside world considers them to be big or small. And that's what's driven me all my years of doing this business.
And the grand prize winner is Green Grazer Goats.